Hello my friends, welcome to Prime Strings. I'm Henriette and I'm so excited because today is day 26 of the Learn to Play Suzuki Violin in 30 Days course. We are going to continue to play the Gavotte that we learned in day 25, and I'm hoping you will have had a good practice of lesson 25, and today I promise you it's going to be a little bit easier. So we're on page 43 of Suzuki Volume I, and we're practicing the second half of the Gavotte. Now, we know already that the Gavotte is written in G major, and we have already played a G major scale and arpeggio in the last session. Let me first tune you up and then we'll take it from there, shall we? So here is your A. And the D string. And G. In our last lesson we practiced the G major scale and arpeggio, and we played both legato, so with smooth notes. Today we're going to enhance our staccato playing because we practiced that yesterday in day 25, and today we're going to play our G scale with staccato notes. So let me just recap for you the staccato technique. So you're in the middle of the bow and you're squeezing the wood of the stick onto the hair, and then as soon as you start to play a note you pull away and you let go of your pressure in your hand like that, and then you squeeze it back on at the end of your note. So I'm carrying the bow on my thumb quite heavily because I'm squeezing it between those two fingers, okay? And then as soon as I start to bow, I'm going to release that pressure and put it back on at the end. Okay, so let's just practice it a few more times on an open G string just to get the technique. And let go, and stop, and now again, let go, and stop. Here comes the scale now. Well done. Now we're playing an arpeggio, and the arpeggio we're going to play legato. Legato notes on the arpeggio. Here we go. And have a look at the second half of Gavotte, and we're going to start at bar 17. So let's just play the first two lines first so you know what we're going to be doing. And so the first thing you'll notice is that we've got semiquavers. And semiquavers are notes that go twice as fast as quavers. So what we're doing is here, let's just practice that bit, shall we? So this is bar 20, towards the end of the fifth line of the Gavotte. What we practiced last time is when you play your third finger, that the second finger comes down at the same time. And here we've got a C sharp, so our second finger is going to come next to the third finger. So we're practicing this. And I want you to play both fingers at the same time on the string. So both second and third fingers come down together. And you notice perhaps that in the second half of the second group of semiquavers, the C comes back as a C natural. So you have to move your second finger from here. And I'm doing that together with my fourth finger. You see, once I put the fourth finger down, my second finger goes down to its lower position. So I'll do that again for you. Now most people find that incredibly challenging. It's a good technique though, so let's try it again. There we go, second finger goes down and here goes my 4. Eventually that will go a bit quicker. Now we're going to go from the beginning of bar 17 again, and next I want to have a look at this section. We've got two notes slurred here. One of the notes is on the A string and the second note is on the E string. We know from very early on in this course that when you play on different strings, your elbow levels are going to go differently. Now we're going to go from the A string here to the E string, so my elbow is going to go down during that slur. And now I want you to start thinking about lowering your elbow while you play the D. So while you play the first note of this slur. So look, I'm at my elbow level for A. And I'm going to already drop my elbow there. Can you see that? Because next up is the note on the E string. I'll do that again for you. Have a look. Drop your elbow and let go. And then you let go to the E string there. Practice that a couple of times, shall we? Drop your elbow. Now when we finish this note, we've got a rest and we're going to leave the bow on the string right here. So you're not lifting the bow off. So you've got this. Just wait on the string with your bow and go to the D string now. So here comes my elbow up. So I'll do it again from bar 17. Now continue to raise your elbow because we're going to go to the D string next. And here in this line, you've got almost a summing up of all the techniques that we've learned so far. So we've got elbow changes here, string levels, we've got legato notes, we've got staccato notes, we've got crotchets, quavers and semiquavers. Now to find out how fast exactly my semiquavers are going to go in relation to the crotchets, we could count 4 semiquavers in the time of 1 crotchet. So when I'm here in the middle of that line, I can in my head count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, da 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 dee da. So we know exactly how fast those semiquavers are going to go ahead of when we need to play them. So let's go from the middle of the 5th lines, that is bar 17, 18, 19, and I want you to try and count to 4 while you play each of those crotchets. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You see, this way I anticipate the speed of the semiquavers so they will go precisely rhythmically in the music. So shall we join up the whole of that line now, and let's see if we can think of all those different things. So when you play bar 17, you're going to make your bow strokes as smooth as you can. So nice straight bows, really nice smooth legato. When you get to bar 18, I want you to think about your elbow levels. Drop your elbow when you go to the E string and then raise it back again at the end of bar 18 when you go back to the A string again. Then during the rest your bow stays on the string and your elbow comes up yet higher for when you play the crotchets in bar 19. Bar 19, I want you to think about nice legato playing, nice straight bows and counting in your head so that you anticipate how fast your semiquavers are going to go. Then once you hit the semiquavers, I want you to think about that 2nd finger that comes down together with the 3rd finger, and then once you put the 4th finger down, your 2nd finger goes down, and then last but not least you've got 4 staccato notes at the end of the line. So you've got your work cut out. There's lots to think about here. So because we've got so many things to think about, we're going to just stop at every bar line just to regroup and think about what we're going to think about next, okay? We're going to start at bar 17. Ready? And smooth legato. Stop. Now we're going to drop our elbow and raise your elbow. Leave the bow down. Raise your elbow even further and we're going to go to the 3rd finger. Legato notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well done. That's not so easy to do. Shall we do it again? Because we want to make sure that we focus on the correct aspects of what's coming up in the bar after that makes it so difficult. Okay, I'll talk you through. Let's do that again. Bar 17, smooth legato notes and straight bowing. Now stop a moment, think about your elbow levels. Rest. Let's get your elbow up again and think about smooth legato playing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now think about putting your 2nd finger down together with the 3rd. Staccato. Well done. It's coming together very nicely. Now, it might be that you find this incredibly challenging to do, which is fair enough because it is. So, I would encourage you to take a little bit more time in between each of the bars. Eventually, you will be able to incorporate that. But for now, it is wise just to stop at each bar line and regroup and think, what am I going to think about in the next bar? Because as you've noticed, there are many issues all at the same time, and that is a feature of playing the violin, I'm afraid, that there's always so much to think about, as well as anything else. So, that's nothing to worry about, because I'll take you through step by step, but it's something to be aware of. Okay, so let's now work on bar 21 and what comes next. I'll play it for you first. Here we go, and... Alright, so what are we thinking about here? In bar 21, we've got two up-bow staccato notes. So let's play the first three notes, shall we? So 1, and now I'm going to play 3 halfway, and I'm stopping the bow in the middle. So I'm going to go 3, squeeze your bow, and then let go to the middle, and put the pressure back on. Shall we do that again? 1, staccato to the middle, and the next one. Very nice. Now after the 2 staccato notes, I'm getting a 4th finger on the A string. So we're getting... Do the same staccato notes again. Here, and I'm starting to point this out to you, that is something that will come later, is we're playing octaves. You can always play an octave, which is a note which has the same name, but is higher or lower. We've talked about this before. 1 and 4. You see, both of them are E's, a low E and a high E, and they're always played with finger 1 and finger 4, and we'll come across this very many times in future, but I'm just pointing this out to you so that you are beginning to become aware of it. Okay, so another octave is in the following bar. We've got the open D string and a 3rd finger on the A string, and we've learned before that we can test your 3rd finger by playing it together with the open D string. So if you're not sure of the tuning, you can do that. Okay, let's go back to bar 21 now. Now from here the notes aren't staccato anymore, so we'll just play smooth legato notes. Recognized the notes, the line of notes that goes 3, 2, 1, A. And those notes I want you to feature a bit more prominently in your playing. So you want to make those stand out and not the open D's that are much easier to come out, but you don't want to let those come out. It's the line here. That is more important. So you go. So relatively softer on the open string, but louder on that top line that comes out. Alright, it's a whole lot of things to think about again. So let's go back to 21 and let's put it all together. And... played before the semiquavers, here in the last bar, I'm counting 4 semiquavers in my head. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. So that I know before I start the semiquavers how fast they're going to go. Well done you. Very, very good. So now let's go back to bar 17 and join it all up. 1 and 2 and. That's very good. Let's carry on a bit more. Let's go to bar 25 now. We know a lot of things already about the last 2 lines of this piece. Okay, so I'll talk you through once we play it. So I'll count us in first, and then I'll count while I play the first note so that we know the rhythm of the 4 semiquavers. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift up and 1, 2, 3, 4. Retake the bow and 1, 2, 3, 4. At the end here you see 2 up bows for crotchets, and that's correct. We're going to play them like that, and we're going to play half a bow on each of them. So a staccato up bow. Why are we doing this? The reason that we're playing 2 up bows here is that we need to be near the strings for the pizzicato. So you see, that's all you need to do. You're ending up here on the bow, and all you need to do is to stick out your finger and play pizzicato. And then that one, you've got the option of playing it like this, or you might do it like this, and you get a little bit more out of it. So that's a little bit of technique practice if you take it that way. So I'm playing the G string with my pinky, and that will make my pinky nice and strong, and it helps me find a good direction on that G string with my little finger. So if you find that too stretching, that's absolutely fine. You do it like this. And in fact, that's how most people would play it. But I would like to get a little bit more practice and play it with my pinky. Alright, shall we do that again? The last 2 lines. By comparison, you find them quite easy, I hope, compared with all the rest that's gone before in this piece. Here we go. 25, 1 and 2. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest and rest and 1, 2, 3, 4. one thing we might need to just practice, and that is at the end of bar 29 and at the end of bar 30, you've got two enormous string crossings. You go from the G string here to 4 on A. So we're skipping the D string. And here comes our elbow exercise again. It comes in really handy. We want to make sure that we know exactly the level for the fourth finger on A. So we're going from the G string level to the A string level here. If you've practiced that a few times already, it makes it a lot easier. Now, we're at the point of the bow here, so come down to the level of the fourth finger on A. Let's do that a couple of times. G, so your elbow's really high. Stay there at the point. Find your fourth finger on A, find your level. Okay, let's go back to C. Find your level. Okay, now we'll hop across to the next bar, bar 30, and we've got the second finger on G. Stay there. Find your A string level. Good. Find that G string level again. We'll do it again. Stop. Find your level. Do it one more time. 2. That's it. Find your level. And that's really something that you will get used to very quickly, I think. Practice it slowly and then you'll benefit from it. Luckily, and this is what I always enjoy in practicing, is I practice it once there and I can benefit from it again the next time and also in the repeat. Okay, right, now what I want to do with you as well, because we haven't touched on it neither in the previous lesson or in this one, is to work a little bit more on note reading. So put your violin down and we'll take you through some notes. So I suggest we're going to read the notes in this line here. So the second half, bar 17. Okay, as you know, I like to do some note reading every lesson and this is our moment. So let's just think about what the notes are called. One finger on the A string is called B, B, C natural, C natural. Remember, we haven't now got a sharp in our key signature. We've just got an F sharp there, but not a C sharp. So this note is just called C or C natural. Then we get D, G, F sharp, G, D, crochet rest. Then we get 3 fingers on the D string is a G, G, A, B, D, C sharp. You may remember we talked about this earlier. This is called an accidental. It just suddenly appears in the music while it's not part of our key signature. So this accidental is cancelled at the bar line. So at the bar line here, we're back to C naturals. But something else happens here. C sharp, D, E, D. The composer here says, now play a C natural and not that C sharp that would otherwise have been valid. So C natural here, that's why your finger moves back. B, A, D, F sharp, E. Well done. And we'll keep on doing that frequently, just practicing a little bit of note reading, because that will help your music theory. Now, what else is there in the way of music theory in this book? We have already touched on it while we were practicing the music. We have got all different note types here. So we've got crotchet notes, or quarter notes as the Americans call it. Then we've got quavers or eighth notes. Here we've got a crotchet note and a crotchet rest. This is actually a rest which is to the same value of one of these notes. Crotchet, 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 crotchets. Semi-quavers, as we have heard before, and quavers. And that is all that we've got. We haven't got any minims or semibreves in this piece. We'll come across them another time and then we'll refresh our memory on those. Now, at the start of this piece it says allegretto. Allegretto is a diminutive. It comes from allegro. Allegro means fast, and this means slightly slower than fast. So you don't have to play this wildly fast, but just at a good pace. Mezzo forte, so medium loud. Piano. Piano means soft. Mezzo piano is also soft, but slightly louder than piano. Then we've got mezzo forte, which is medium level, medium volume, but slightly louder than mezzo piano. So if you imagine the medium volume range, mezzo piano is slightly softer, mezzo forte is slightly louder. This word we've come across is short for ritenuto, and ritenuto means slow down. Then it says a tempo here, which cancels out that ritenuto, so we're back at the same pace as where we were before, and we're soft, piano. Fine here, we'll come to that in a minute, because it says you're going to play your piece. You repeat these two lines, and then you keep going, keep going, keep going, then you repeat this from here back to there, and then once you've repeated that, you go here, all the way, and then it says DC al fine, which means da capo, and da capo in Italian means back to the top. So from here, you go back to the top, and then it says al fine, to fine, and fine is here, that's the end of your piece. So after you've played all of this, and you've repeated this, the last two lines, you go back to the end, back to the top, and then you play without repeats though, and you play to fine. Now when you play da capo, you don't put the repeats in that you've already done at the beginning, because these two lines you had already played twice, remember, at the beginning. You don't then play them again when you play da capo. So where have we got to? That led us from the word fine here. Then we're going mezzo forte, so medium loud. Cantabile means in a singing style, which indicates that this is your legato playing that we've talked about, as opposed to the staccato notes that you had here in the first section of this piece. So cantabile meaning in a singing style. Okay, this means leave your first fingers on the string, which we have done. Diminuendo, gradually becoming softer, still leaving your first finger down. Piano, soft, and then we get arco. Arco means with the bow, and that's just to remind you, because when you repeat this, you've just played these notes here, staccato. Let me say it correct. When you repeat this section, remember you've just played pizzicato here at the end, your two notes, and then it says when you repeat, remember to play with your bow, arco, use the bow. Mezzo forte here, piano softer here at the end, and then pizzicato at the end. Wow, that's a lot of music theory. You may, at this stage, also have a look at the end of your book, because all those words, those Italian terms that we have discussed throughout this course so far, you can find here, and you can see what all the musical terms mean. We've been talking about those as we went along in all individual pieces, and you can just memorize them, because you will come across them much more in your future music making. So that's enough talking about music theory. Let's just play our last section again. So we're now going to put together the whole second half of Gavotte. So we're going to start at bar 17, and we're going to do our best to incorporate as many of the different things that we've discussed in our practice in our playing it for real. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at bar 17 and put the repeat in, and then we're also going to play the second repeat at the end. Here we go, bar 17, 3, 4. everyone. You have done a lot of practicing in this lesson again. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you come across any things that you want to discuss, please write them in the comments section below and I will come back to you on that. I promise. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do. And I look forward to seeing you in day 27, where we'll put the whole song together. Goodbye.